We finished our morning duties in the house. What are all we did for the early morning? What are the daily duties what we are supposed to perform? ఏమేం చేయాలి ఇంట్లో ఇక్కడికి రాకముందు? క్లీనింగ్, బేతింగ్, పూజ, నెక్స్ట్ ఆఫరింగ్, నెక్స్ట్ లిటిల్ హానరింగ్, నెక్స్ట్ daily. So we had done our formalities. Then when we came free from our day-to-day anxieties, then we have elaborate time to listen about Bhagavad. So they also have done the same thing. Because when a sannyasis or sages, they have their nitya karma to be performed. Like this is called as anusthana. In Sanskrit, every day nitya karma, nitya naimitaka karma. So even for a grihastha, there are certain duties. If you read Bhagavatam, when Krishna was there as a grihastha in Dwaraka, he used to get up at early morning 3:30. What is so special at 3:30? Brahma Muhurta. How do you get up at 3:30 when you don't have alarms? Hence, they wake you up. They wake you up at 3:30. So what is so special at 3:30 when Brahma Muhurta time? The birds, when they chirp that sound, it awakens personalities. It is 1.5 to 2 hours before sunrise. In summer, sun rises by around 5:15, you can see the morning light. In winter, around 6:15, you will see the same light. But generally, 3:30 or 3:34 is a time which is recommended for us to get up, so that by 4:30 we are available for our spiritual practices. That is called as Sattva Guna period. At that time, our mind is not anxiety. We are not thinking of what to do in the future, the day-to-day activities. We are all relieved, relaxed. We can focus more on meditation. We can focus more on the Lord, bhajan, kirtan, everything and all. Recently, they had conducted one survey where they understood why the birds chirp at that particular time, what impact it has on nature. So one scientist, what he had done, he had decoded the frequency of the bird chirping, and it came to the same frequency as classical music. So in his cornfield, he started playing that classical music at morning 4:30. So all the surrounding neighbors were thinking he is a crazy person. Morning 4:30 he is playing classical music to fields. What do we think as a common man? పిచ్చోడు అనుకుంటాం కదా. So everybody were thinking like that, but after 3 months, see, corn crop, it will take 90 days, 60 to 90 days is a crop. All the surrounding farmers, their crop, the height of that corn, what it grew to them was 5 to 6 feet. That's the standard size. But for him, the corn grew 16 feet. And it gave 5 times more the crop. One corn stem will have 3 corns. 2 full, 1 medium size you will get. That is a healthy corn one. For him, it were 10 to 15 were there in each stem. Now you understand, if a plant can reciprocate with so much energy, how much we can reciprocate with. So why it is important when elders say, when our previous acharyas say, you have to get up early in the morning, your body will respond much heavily. In a higher capacity you will respond. So the sages were also in the same pattern. They got up very early, they finished their morning duties, they sat to hear no Bhagavatam. They had finished our responsibilities for them, for that time. So now 2 aspects have been elaborated here. One is the Acharya who was giving that lecture there, Sota Goswami, he is considered as representative of Vyasadeva. Because in true he is representative of Vyasadeva. He heard Srimad Bhagavatam from, Sota Goswami heard Srimad Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami. When Sukadeva Goswami was instructing Parikshit Maharaj, so he was one of that assembly members. Do you think how many people would have existed when Sukadeva Goswami was speaking Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj? 20,000. That is the place where it happened near Shukratal. When you go from Delhi to Haridwar, on the way you will get this place called as Shukratal. Even today, if you go there, that place where exactly Shukadeva Goswami spoke to Parikshit Maharaj, it is there. Even today, people go there and recite Bhagavatam there. So 20,000 people, no mic, no speakers, but they heard attentively. Understand their capacity. Then Suta Goswami, when he is repeating to sages of Naimisharanya, now do you think how many people would have been seated here? 80,000 people were listening. So 80,000 people were sitting at one place and they are all hearing Bhagavatam. Now Shukadeva Goswami heard Bhagavatam from his father, Vyasadeva. So in that way, when I am representing the legacy, so I am a true person because I am not adding anything of my own, I am just passing on the message from my superior. That's why he is considered as representative of Vyasadeva. Now what are the qualifications of the speaker? That will be elaborated in the next 3 verses. 6, 7, 8 will talk about the elaborate qualities of Suta Goswami. Here the perspective is for us to understand, Prabhupada says, exactly he should represent the viewpoint of Vyasadeva and follow the disciplic succession. And he should be a Goswami, the second qualification. Goswami means what? Generally, we all have 5 senses. Go has 3 meanings. One is cow, the other one is senses, the third one is Mother Earth. Whenever Mother Earth takes a form, what form does she take? Whenever she is in problem? Cow. So Mother Earth is also called as go. So go means it has 3 perspectives. So Swami means he is considered like master. So one who is master of his senses. So he is called as Goswami. So if you have to become a speaker, Acharya, you should be able to control all your senses. 5 senses including mind. Then you become qualified to become Goswami. So Suta Goswami, when you say Suta Goswami means one has already controlled his 6 senses, including 5 senses and mind. Next, he does not deliver lectures capriciously but performs service most carefully. So when he is speaking about Bhagavatam, he is speaking as per Shastra. He is not quoting something randomly. So when we meet people, many times we experience, they start with one thing, it ends with something else. Tala toka lekana maatladtaru. We experience always this. But here the speaker is not talking anything irrelevant. He is talking as per the subject required. So, and the responsibility of the sages, how did they treat Vyasadeva's representative? Adharat, with great respect. Sukham asinam, they gave him a proper seat. So, the responsibility from the audience side and the qualifications of the speaker is the subject what we are talking about. So, what Bhagavatam elaborates many places, if analyze Prabhupada's perspective on qualifications of the speaker, some points I have understood. So, first thing he said, Prabhupada said, he must be the leader of the house and an elderly man. The speaker. Generally, 4 qualities are considered when you are choosing a leader. One will be, basic consideration is age. Somebody very senior, he will be given respect. Elderly people are given respect. Beyond age is education. Somebody very educated, he will be given more respect. Beyond education is realization. One who is more understanding, one who is able to pursue the subject. He is given more respect. And beyond that is devotee, the Supreme Lord's representative. So these are the 4 degrees in which how respect will be offered based upon their qualification. So here it is said, he must be the leader of the house and an elderly man. He must be vastly learned also. It's a second perspective. And he must have full confidence in the previous acharyas, and at the same time he must have realized the subject matter so nicely he can present the matter for particular time, particular circumstances in a particular manner. So as per time, place, circumstances, he can deliver it accordingly. And the original purpose of the text must be maintained. No obscure meaning should be screwed out of it, yet it should be presented in an interesting manner for the understanding of the audience. This is called as realization. So in that way, the gradation in which the speaker will be qualified. Next, what should be his character? Okay, we understand these are the educational qualifications. Now people sometimes will be educated, but his character will be very bad. So can we go and learn from a person who has very bad character? Then what kind of character should I expect from him? He should be a Goswami with a bona fide representative of Vyasadeva. He should be free from all vices, all bad qualities. Then he should be spotless in his character. He should be very much obedient and submissive to his bona fide spiritual master, and always should be ready to satisfy his guru. Next, he should be pure and simple. These are the character-wise, these are the qualifications required from a speaker. Then what should be his spiritual understanding? He should be able to hear and explain them, which is more important than just reading. He is sitting here not just simply to read. He has to elaborate the subjects. Next, good hearing and chanting by which real meaning of the scriptures awaken in the heart. When you hear nicely, what happens from the audience side? You will be able to accept it very nicely. The speaker should be able to present in such a way that the audience should be able to pick up that subject and they should be able to understand it clearly. Then he follows sincerely and is convinced and can therefore explain sincerely. Next, he should be conversant in all systems of philosophy. There are 6 major philosophies. So they are known as, the philosophers known as Gautama, Kanada, Kapila, Patanjali, Jaimini, Astavakra. These are the 6 kinds of philosophies which were existing based on Vedic perspective, but all are incomplete. The complete philosophy is by Vyasadeva, which is known as Vedanta philosophy. Then Karmakanda system was there, then Ashtanga Yoga, Sankhya, like that there are many philosophies which exist. But the complete knowledge was given by Vyasadeva is Vedanta, Veda Anta Sutra. This is the ultimate understanding of Vedas in puzzles. Sutra means puzzles. So Vedic knowledge is around 4 lakh verses. 4 Vedas. Each Veda has 4 divisions: Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Upanishads, Samhitas. So each Veda is divided into 1,000 and 1,200 parts. One Veda consists of 1,200 parts. Means 4 Vedas consist of around 4,800 parts. So if you have to understand 4,800 parts, how much life is required for us? So it is too elaborate. Then we have Puranas. 18 Puranas are there. And Bhagavatam is one such Purana with 18,000 verses. Padma Purana has somewhere around 54,000 verses. Like that, if you take another count, the Puranas are around again another 4 lakh verses. Then Mahabharata, which is 1 lakh verses. Ramayana, 24,000 verses. With so much to read, how much can I dedicate my time with such a short lifespan? So what did Vyasadeva did? He comprised everything in essence. Like for example, you go to, how many of you see cricket matches? All of you would have seen cricket match. Next day, 6 hours of play or 8 hours of play, they show in 8 minutes as highlights. Understood? The prime points. Like that, Vyasadeva, you cannot read so many Vedic literatures. he will give that essence in highlights in that Veda Antasura. In that 550 verses. That's it. No, but these 550 verses, this is for intelligent people, he can understand. Again, common man cannot understand. So for them to understand, he made a commentary on that 550 verses. That commentary is Srimad Bhagavatam. So for 550 verses to explain, it required 18,000 verses to understand. You can understand how much philosophy is kept in that 550 verses. And this is incomplete version. So Bhagavatam explains in Bhagavad Mahatmya the qualifications, 5 primary qualities of a speaker. Shastra says, Bhagavan matihi anapeksha suhrudo deeneshu sa anukampayam yaha bahuda bodan chaturaha vakta sammanito munibihi. So this says the speaker should be of the quality of Krishna Arti. Means he only desires to speak about Krishna, and the audience should also be the quality of Krishna Arti, only to hear about Krishna. Then when these two conditions meet, then it becomes possible for Krishna Katha to manifest with full potential. Like for example, have you seen physical experiments, physical lab? Resonance, you know. What is resonance? There will be one fork. If you beat that fork, it will vibrate one frequency. And if you bring a similar fork to that, it starts vibrating even though it is not hit. So you pick up that energy from the person who is already with that energy. So for us to have that Krishna Katha, if he has to get into us, we have to sync with the subject. The speaker should be so resonant that it will be able to pass, he will be able to, like infection, you know, antu rogalu antar. Okalku ochindante, it will spread to everybody faster. Like corona. One person got and he blessed everybody with the corona in the family. So this message of Bhagavatam, this Vedic knowledge, the speaker should be potent himself to pass on that message to others. So when they are also of the same thing, then the knowledge becomes faster imbibed into the person who is hearing. Next, the first qualification of the speaker was Bhagavan Matihi. The speaker should be, his mind should be always on the thoughts of Lord Sri Krishna and absolutely nothing else. The first qualification, Bhagavan Matihi. So next time onwards, all of you can get one small notes. That మీ మొబైల్స్లో కూడా can start writing. What happens now? How much can I remember? After 1 hour, we'll forget. So if you want to carry over that message for a longer time, get a small notes or in mobile. You start compiling the points. What strikes to you? Not that everything you can write down, but what is important to you, you can write down. So that it enhances your keen understanding. So that you will be able to listen nicely, you will be able to absorb nicely. So the second qualification was anapekshaha. Apekshaha means expectation of something. So anapekshaha means speaker is trying to give that message without expecting anything from the audience. See, many places we would have seen people do that katha. Big speakers will come and they give katha for 7 days. Bhagavad Saptah, all these things and all. And the person is expecting some financial revenue from them. It becomes a business. So when there is business, where is devotion there? Like for example, how many of us go to temple regularly? As a common man, we go to the temple. As soon as we stand in front of the deity, what do? We open one big list. My dear Lord, you are an order carrier. You are like a hotel. When you go to hotel, who will be there next to me? Who will come and stand next to me? A waiter will come. You will order him. I want that dosa, I want this idli, I want that puri, I want that. So we'll stand in front of the Lord and we'll start ordering him. You please give me that, you give me this, you give me that, you give me this. If you give all these things, I'll give little percentage back to you. We'll go, we want to strike a business deal with the Lord and come back. But bhakti is not business. And especially with Krishna. If you go and ask one, he will say how much you have first. So he will take away everything from us. That's why very few devotees of Krishna are there. If you go to Srinivasa, thousands and thousands will go there. If you come to Krishna, because he is thief number one, he steals away our heart. And once our heart is gone, we cannot go anywhere else. If you go to Krishna, he will only give you bhakti, peace of mind. And if you have that, you don't require anything else. Self-satisfaction. That's the specialty of Krishna. See what happens now, Krishna tries to see, if I give him something which is going to take him away from me, why should I give him something? See, I am going and asking him, give me 1 crore. And when I get 1 crore, what will be my mood? How to enjoy, how to show off, whatever it may be. So in that way, what is happening is, instead of thinking of Krishna, I will be thinking of this money. And if I think of this money, what will be my further status? I will be back into the cycle of birth and death. Krishna is saying, why I should give him something which will punish him? So I will make him more closer to me. So if I have to become more closer to Krishna, what is the thing is, whatever I am thinking they are mine, he will take away from me. So that I will completely dedicate to him only. I will not think of anything else. This is called as extreme mercy. In Bhagavatam 10th canto, Shukadeva Goswami quotes his perspective. He says, Yashyaham anugranami harishye taddanam shanai. Krishna says, this is my highest mercy upon a devotee. Yashyaham anugranami. What is that mercy? Harishye taddanam shanai. I will take away all his appliances. Tato jnanam tyajanti yasya. All his family members will discard him. Swajana dukki dukkitam. And he will become so sorrow that he will come and take my shelter. And when he gets me, he will get everything in the world. People don't realize it. If you have Sri Nivasa, is there any problem for money? But we are saying, oh Srinivasa, I don't want you, I want only Lakshmi. But Lakshmi will stay with us. We are becoming Ravana. Ravana wants only Sita, he doesn't want Ramachandra. Now if you want Sita to come and stay in your home, bring Ramachandra to your home. And wherever there is husband, wife will follow. The simple logic. If Krishna has to come and blesses our house, you worship nicely Tulsi Maharani Prabhupada says. ఎవరి ఇంటి ముందు అయితే తులసి బాగా వెచ్చుకుంటూ ఉందో వాళ్ళ ఇంట్లో కృష్ణుడి యొక్క కృప బాగుందని చెప్పి ఆచార్య సార్. So why we recommend people to start worshipping Tulsi? Tulsi is very dear to the Lord. Krishna does not accept any offering without Tulsi leaf. So now the story also will come recently that Chiluka Dvadashi happened, Tulsi Shaligrama Vivaha, where Lord himself became Shaligrama and that eternal association of Tulsi and Shaligrama, that story is their perspective. That some other time we can recite that context wise. So for us, the spiritual perspectives are anapekshaha. We should not expect anything from the written. Next, third qualification is suhrudaha. He is friendly to all. So he happily recites Krishna Katha everywhere he gets an opportunity, because he wants to benefit everyone. He wants to give that knowledge, what he has understood, so that others also get benefit by that. The fourth one was Dineshu sa anukampayaha. So he is extremely compassionate towards the poor, lowly and those living in pitiable conditions. We are all living in this pitiable condition of cycle of birth and death, struggling hard with our body, mind, senses and all. So they are extremely compassionate to us so that we become revived in our bhakti and we can go back home, back to Godhead. That is their extreme compassionate upon us. And last one is Bahuda Bodayan Chaturaha. He should be very expert in Vedic scriptures and schools of philosophy, and he should be well versed in all Ramayana, Mahabharata, all Bhakti Sutras and other Vaishnava literatures. So whatever we had discussed earlier only, in Sanskrit terminology, these are the qualifications of the speaker. So Suta Goswami had all these qualifications. That's why he was selected with this opportunity. So, in a kingdom, there were two friends. One was the king's son, the other one was the minister's son. So, the king and the minister's son, because both were the small kids, they went to same Gurukula. They learnt everything, what is required for them. When they came back, so the king's son became the king and the minister's sons became minister because of their qualification, not just because of their birthright. Over a period of time, the king saw that his minister is engaged in daily meditation. He was chanting some mantras, all these things and all. The king became very inquisitive. One day when he went randomly to his house, the minister's house, he saw a minister sitting in front of the deity in the house, and he started offering various prayers to the Lord. So the way he chanted, the way intonation, that raga, tala, pallavi, everything and all were so nice, the king became mesmerized. And he, after finishing everything and all, he went and met him because he did not want to disturb him while the aarti and while the prayers were happening. So he went and later asked him, where did you learn all these things and all? He said, I went to one guru, he taught me all these things and all, I am practicing from him. Then he said, okay, I also want to do all these things and all, can you teach me? The minister said, no, I am not yet practiced, I am just elbowed now, I have started learning. So you have to approach a qualified person to learn, I cannot teach you. But the king is persuading, no, I don't have time, I cannot go there and I cannot learn. So you learn and you teach me. Anyhow you are learning, you can simultaneously teach me also. But the minister said, no, this is not the etiquette. If you have to learn, you have to approach the master, only then you can learn from him. The king became very angry. Next day morning, he gave a warning to the minister. If you do not teach me, I am going to punish you. So the minister was thinking how to communicate to him the aspect of subservience. The king is in the ego platform. He doesn't want to surrender unto somebody. So next day morning when he went to the court, he immediately stood in front of the assembly and he made sound and he said, my dear soldiers, capture this king and put him in jail. The king is already angry that he is not teaching me. As soon as he saw this reckless statement, arrogant statement, the soldiers were all not doing anything. The king became very angry. Then he said, my dear soldiers, capture this minister and put him into jail. Immediately soldiers came forward, they caught him. Then the minister said, see, I also said the same instruction. You also said the same instruction. Which had impact? Which had impact? Why? Authority. You have to follow the authority. So he said, if you want instructions, to go to the authority. Authority will not come to you. The same perspective, the qualification of the speaker, he should be authority. Anybody and everybody cannot become authority. Then you can ask, what is our authority? Why are we sitting here and speaking? We don't have any authority. Prabhupada, because whatever we are doing, whatever we have learned from Prabhupada, we are trying to communicate. The whole perspective is, we are representing our spiritual master, Prabhupada. So what he has taught, what we understood, we are like a parrot, we are reciting today. Next, one more perspective was, question should be again right. If you have a right person, the question should also be in right format. So one day, we all know the story of Akbar Birbal. We would have heard many perspectives. So Akbar used to come up with some technical question which nobody could solve generally. While Akbar was passing by, he saw some one foolish activity on the road by some foolish person. He thought, I just wanted to see who are the most foolish people in this kingdom. So next day he announced to Birbal, I want to see 4 most foolish people. Birbal said, it is not a problem at all, sir. Our kingdom is full of foolish people only. But to bring to you, selected that first 4 category, I require some time. Okay. Akbar said, okay, no problem, take. So Birbal was looking for that 4 categories of foolish people. Who are they? So one day when he was passing by the road, he saw one person carrying a full thali of all fruits, like he is going to gift somebody. When that Birbal asked him, "Are, where are you going?" He said, "My wife left me away and married somebody else. Now she had a baby boy, so I am going these gifts to give it to her." So Birbal thought he is the first candidate. Then he said, "Oh, very nice man, I will give so and so time, you have to come to the assembly there." And when he was going further, he saw a person sitting on a buffalo with a bunch of grass on his head. So Birbal asked him, "What are you doing?" "Arey, can't you see my buffalo is pregnant? So that's why I don't want to load him further. So I am carrying that load on his behalf." He said, "Yes, you are the second candidate. So and so time, you please come to the assembly." So next day morning, the both were called in front of the king in the assembly, and he introduced, he is the fool number one who was carrying all the gifts to his wife who has ran away from him. He is fool number two who is carrying the load by sitting on that buffalo. Akbar said, "I had asked for 4 people. Why are you saying only 2? Then the third person is you, sir, asking for foolish persons in the kingdom when you have so much work to do. And the fourth person is I am, blindly following what you are saying. With I am a prime minister of the country looking for all the murkhas in the country." So, audience, the question should also be proper question. If you misutilize it, if you put a wrong, silly question to the most capable person, prime minister is looking for all crazy people in the kingdom, is that a proper way perspective? So, the qualified person should have qualified questions. That is the second perspective. Then something about this Naimisharanya. What is so special about this Naimisharanya? So once upon a time in Satyuga, all the great sages went to Lord Brahma's place and they were inquiring from him, "My dear sir, please allocate to us one place where we will be able to do uninterrupted devotional service. That place should be so sanctified, it enhances our bhakti, whatever we do there." So Lord Brahma thought for a moment, and from his mind he created one Sudarshan chakra and he left it towards the earth. He said, "Wherever this chakra lands, so that will be your place where you can engage in tapasya." So the chakra lands means in the center of the chakra there is a circle which is called as Nemi, the rim. A tire will have a rim. So the Sudarshan chakra will have a rim that is called as Nemi. The Aranya where this Nemi fell is called as Naimisharanya. In that way, that even if you go today, we will have. How many of you visited Naimisharanya? What did you see there in Naimisharanya? Chakratirtha you went? So that how the Chakratirtha came? Britishers tried to find out how depth is that. They could not find it out. They say this is the center of the universe. It's a small circle, but nobody could find out the depth of that by sonar technology or something and all they tried. They could not find out what is the depth of that Chakratirtha. So because Lord Brahma, it emanated from the mind of Lord Brahma, it is known as Naimisharanya. So this is around 90 kilometers from Lucknow, the place. And there is a river called as Gomati river there, next to Gomati river. Current date is called as Nimsar. In Vishnu Sahasranama also, Naimisharanya has been glorified. He says, "Guror Gurutamo Damaha Satya Satya Parakramaha Naimisha Animisha Shragve Vachaspatir Udharadihi." So, at this place, Lord Vishnu had killed demons within a split of a second. Split of a second is called as blinking the eye. So within the time of a blinking of the eye is called as Nimisha in Sanskrit. So it is 1/8 of a second, which is blinking of the eye. So within the blinking of the eye, Lord Vishnu killed a demon. So that's why it is placed known as called as Naimisharanya. This is one reason. So, at this place, Lord Vishnu had killed a demon by name Durjaya and his followers by his Sudarshan Chakra. And one more demon by name Gayasura was killed. So, his body, when he was killed, he prayed for the Lord that body should become into sacred place. And it should be worshipped on his name. So, his body was cut into 3 parts. The lower part, which is known as Pada Gaya, which is there in Bihar. Have you seen that Vishnu Pada? Vishnu Gaya? That is called as Pada Gaya. It is the body where the feet part of Gayasura was there. Then the Nabi part, Nabi Gaya is Naimisharanya. And the Shira part is Brahma Kapala. Where? Badrikashrama. So the Gaya places of Gaya Sharira were into 3 Punya places. Badrikashrama, Naimisharanya and Vishnu Gaya. This is one more reason. And this is the place where Dadichi Muni was tested. In Bhagavatam we get a perspective. There were demons were becoming very strong and Indra was not able to conquer them. So he wanted one weapon which can counteract all the things. So he went to Lord Vishnu and Lord Vishnu suggested him to go and meet Dadichi Muni. From his body, bones, the thunderbolt was made. 4 weapons were made. Thunderbolt was made. Then Shiva Dhanushu, which Ramachandra broke, that was made. Ghandiva, which Arjuna carried, that was also made from Dadichi's bones. Then Vishnu Dhanasu, which was given by Parashurama to check Ramachandra can he hold it or not. So all these things were done from the body of Dadichi. The entire pastime happened at Naimisharanya. And this is the place where Lord Ramachandra, after killing Ravana, had performed Ashwamedha Yajna. So Hanuman Garhi, there is a place there. When Ramachandra and Lakshmana were kidnapped by Ahiravana to Pathala, we all worship, Panchamukha Anjaneya. What is the story behind Panchamukha Anjaneya? You know who is Ahiravana? Mahiravana. He is the younger brother of, cousin of Ravana. So he stays in Patala. And he captured Rama and Lakshmana and hid them in Patala. And he wanted to sacrifice them. So Hanuman went there. Ahiravana's life is stored at 5 places as lamps. Fire. So if you have to switch off that lamp, simultaneously you have to switch off all the 5 simultaneously. Only then Ahiravana can be killed, or else you cannot be killed. So when Hanuman went there, he accepted 5 forms, 5 heads, so that 5 directions he blew up all the lamps simultaneously. That's why he is known as Panchamukha Hanuman. Then he brought Rama and Lakshmana and he came out of that Patala at this place where Hanuman Garhi. So that is the place in Naimisharanya. And this is the place where Vedavyasa had compiled all his Vedas, Upanishads and everything into picture, into writing. And Suta Goswami had delivered this place. That's why this is the most sanctified place. And this is the place where Tulsidas wrote Ramacharita. So, for each yuga, one sacred place has been identified. In Satyuga it was Naimisharanya. In Treta Yuga it is Pushkara. In Dwapar Yuga it is Kurukshetra. And in Kali Yuga it is Ganga. So that's why most of our people, any rituals and all, somebody passes away, we want to go and mix that ashes in Ganga. They go to Kashi. So Ganga is the most sacred place for Kali Yuga. So any doubts or questions, please?
As you said, Bhagavad Gita is vast for a common man to understand, right? So where do we
did not say Bhagavad Gita. The entire Vedic literatures are very vast. Bhagavad Gita is the essence. In 700 slokas, see, if you read a book, in index you will get all the essence, what that book is. So Bhagavad Gita is index of all Vedic literature. So it has everything in primarily what we have to understand about Lord, about devotion, and how to become strong in devotional service. So Bhagavad Gita has all these basics. Where to start? Start from first verse.
Like what you see in us, that actually like you started dictating Bhagavad Gita to a lot of people by now, right? So where do you see that they're actually following it and how they start reflecting on it?
See, one thing is when you read that verse, you try to understand what it is to me. The Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5000 years by Lord Krishna to Arjuna in a battlefield. I am not a warrior, I am not a kshatriya, I am a housewife, or I am a mother, I am a whatever father, or whatever my responsibilities, what it means to me. So every verse has one perspective which Krishna wants us to get updated with. So you try to understand what is that Krishna's instruction to me, what is Prabhupada trying to put it in practical to me, so that I can add to my life my qualifications. Like you see army men, they keep so many medals. So many verses are there for us to keep in our life, into our heart. So that as you keep adding Bhagavad Gita to our life, then we will change in our character. So small perspective they explain how Bhagavad Gita can impact. So we all go to our grandparents' house when we were children to enjoy holidays. A small boy from the village town has come to a village to meet his grandfather and spend his holidays. So grandfather has the habit of every day reading Bhagavad Gita. So grandson also sat next to him and he also was imitating, trying to read Bhagavad Gita. So after a few days, the grandson asked, what is so special if I read Bhagavad Gita, what happens to me? So grandfather gave him one basket which used to carry coal, which has, chillulu butti. That's like the same butti. You see this butti? So he gave him which is black because it was carried for coal to put it into the fire. He said, go to the nearby lake and get water. So he went there, he filled the water and he came back. By the time he came back, everything is drowned away. Then grandfather said, no, you go, bring it faster. So he went, he ran and came, but still the water went away. He said, no, you are not running fastly, you have to run it much faster. The boy went there with full enthusiasm, he ran like an Usain Bolt and came back, but by the time the water is gone. After 3-4 attempts, the boy was saying, so it is impractical, the butti will not hold water. Then grandfather showed him, because of 4 times when you brought the water, the butti is shining now. All the dirt has gone away. You may think that Bhagavad Gita you are reading and nothing is happening. But because of being in touch, it will purify us. Because you are in touch with Krishna, it will purify us. Simple perspective. Okay? Then thank you. Now we will chant one. Okay. Hare.
Ram, my question is regarding this Brahma Murta. I heard it is related to sunrise. Is it 3:30 or is it related to sunrise?
See, sunrise, before sunrise, 1.5 hours before sunrise.
Yeah. 1 hour 36 minutes before sunrise starts and ends before 48 minutes. Is it true, right?
Yes, 1.5 hour before sunrise is considered as Brahma Muhurta, where our mind is simple and we are ready to focus on spiritual perspectives.
Then why are you asking for 3:30?
समर टाइम थोड़ा जल्दी बोल रहा हूँ मैं. समर टाइम में सूर्य बहुत जल्दी आ जाता है, 5:30 बजे तक आ जाता है. तो 3:30 बजे आप उठेंगे तो 4 बजे 3:45 तक रेडी होंगे ना. तो हमारा फिलॉसफी है बाई 4:30 यू शुड गेट रेडी, irrespective of season, summer or winter. 4:30 to 6 is a prime time. So half an hour तो लगता है आपको रेडी होने में. हाँ, so वही 3:30 उठेंगे तो 4:15 4:30 हो जाएगा. आप यदि 4:30 उठेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा? 5 बज जाएगा. Yes. One more perspective they say, how many of you seen in villages people clean their house in front, put rangoli, they sprinkle cow dung water, everything and all. You know what is that perspective? Huh?
But rangoli will be used to clean the insects with our hands and then antiseptic liquid.
No. No, these are all secondary reasons. The primary reason is you are inviting the Lord Surya Bhagavan, Surya Narayana to enter into your house. First, before Narayana wakes up, by 5:30 you should put this rangoli. When a guest is coming to your house, will you decorate your house or not? When Narayana himself is coming to enter into your house as sunlight, so how should you decorate your house? So Vedic time, people used to get up early, they used to take bath, they used to decorate all these things and all, so that when the guest comes, you are perfectly ready to receive him. Now, current day, Lord already got up and he has come, and with our nighty dress or night dress, all these things and all, with not even brushing, and we are standing in front with a broom in my hand. Come, I am going to teach you, I am going to receive you with a broom. చీపురు కట్టేసుకొని చీపురు బట్టలు వేసుకొని మనం అంతా అప్పుడు నుంచుంటాం అన్నమాట ఆయన ఆహ్వానించడానికి. Is it a correct attitude to invite the Lord at that time? So, Vedic perspective. You are receiving Narayana to your house. That's why during Sankranti you do Ratamug. You are inviting Narayana to enter into your house. Sun Kranti. Sun is entering into Uttarayana. So we are inviting him. That's the knowledge. Many things were there. What the thing is, over a period of time we lost everything. Nobody communicated to us why we have to do. That generation gap, you say, that existed in a big way.